This is James Holder for IFL TV in association with McLeish Jim Marbau. I'm at the press conference today for Carl Frampton versus Scott Quigg, the unification clash. We're finally here. I'm fortunate enough to be joined by BLAIN McGUIGAN. Firstly and foremost, BLAIN, enjoyed the press conference. What do you sort of take out of that?
It was a very intense press conference, but I enjoyed it. I mean, I think Scott showed a little bit of weakness with the whole superstitious thing with the dressing room. At the end of the day, it's a tactic. Do you know what I mean? I think it needs to be resolved, though. There's no point in dragging it on. You know, we're getting to the weigh-in tomorrow. So, but good, you know, back and forth. We expected that. I mean, the boys are down at weight, so they're always going to be a bit cranky. But I think we're very confident. You know, after that.
What is the resolution for the changing room? Scott Quigg seems like he's not going to budge. Carl Frampton seems like he's not going to budge. What happens here?
I mean, you know, it's not like it's a promotional thing. I think it's a fighter thing. You know, and I think the best way to do it is to sit down in a room. You know, Scott, Carl, Eddie, myself, and my old man, and just sort it out. You know, be all and end all, just get it done, knock it on the head. I mean, I think shutting the dressing room. There's enough dressing rooms backstage at Manchester Arena to dress the other two. It's a viable option. So yeah, I think that's why.
You asked Scott Quigg if he was comfortable with the £10 after the check weight. His reaction to that, what did you make of that?
I didn't think it was a disrespectful comment. It was just a normal question. You know, he's never made the £10. You know, the additional £10 rule with the IBF. He didn't seem to like that question. I know that Carl Frampton's, you know, done it 7 times. I think that's an important factor, James. You know, we're talking about weight at the weigh-in, but actually it's how you rehydrate. And that could be a real big thing that plays into Carl's hands with the experience that he's had.
Did you feel sort of disrespected that the fact you are the promoter, you are on the table, and the fact you was being told to go and sit at the other side of the room?
At the end of the day, mate, I'm the antithesis of Eddie Hearn. I don't want to be up there and doing everything. I just felt, as a matter of principle, there needed to be a representative of Cyclone up there today. But Scott was very disrespectful. Eddie called me a little boy, which is quite funny. I think I'm only 2 years younger than him, and although his age is a bit of a disputed thing anyway with Eddie. So no, I mean, I don't take any of that personally. I know what it is. It's fight week, you know, back and forth. So that's the way it is.
Who would you think's under the most pressure out of Scott Quigg and Carl Frampton coming into this? It's a unification clash. They've both got so much to lose. But in your opinion, who do you think's under the most pressure?
I think it's difficult to split it. Honestly, I think they're both under intense pressure. But you know, Carl's been here. He's done it in front of 16,000 people. You know, in Belfast, when he won the world title, he's had the weight of expectation on him for a large part of his career, and I think that's just that's going to be another advantage on the night. You know, he knows how to deal with these situations. It's no disrespect to Scott. I just don't think he's been in this sort of environment before. You know, he's been, you know, chief support many times, and he has become a world champion, and we're not taking anything away from him.
Scott Quigg made some comments that he believed Carl Frampton had struggled to do his ticket allocation. Can you explain to me what sort of the case is with that, Blaine?
I don't know where that's coming from. I know that Carl has sold an enormous amount of tickets for this, and I also know from the stats coming back from the arena that the majority of the tickets were bought online and via the phone from Belfast. The second city, would you have it, was London. So actually, Manchester is third on that. I know there's walk-ups and stuff, but you're talking a couple of hundred tickets there. So actually, it's just a baseless argument. Carl's the star. He's sold the most tickets.
Last but not least, fight prediction. How do you see it playing out?
Listen, I'm not a fighter. I'm not a trainer. I'm not claiming to be any of that. But I do think that Carl wins this fight easily down the stretch. I think it's definitely going to be intense the first couple of rounds. He's got to use his feet. He's got to use his superior boxing skills, but I can see him either, running away with it down the stretch or possibly stopping Scott late on.
Last reply to Scott Quigg saying that you've got very chubby chops.
That's a fair point, I do.
On that note, Blaine, thank you for answering my question so honestly, sir, and acting with decorum, and I will catch you again real soon.
Thanks very much, James. Cheers.
Thanks, Blaine.